Politico this morning. It was about that Trump nominee who had shared racist texts, who had to withdraw his nomination, who's not going to get confirmed for the job. And that was entirely due to the news media's reporting. CNN was all over that, Politico was all over it. These stories do still matter sometimes. And whenever I see something like that happen, I take it to heart, not because I want to see that nomination fail, but because I want to see that real human-made journalism actually is still making an impact. Somebody is still reading it. And in that case, a certain number of Republican senators read it and said they couldn't stand for it, right?
It's accountability journalism. It's the most important stuff we do. Sarah, how about you? How do you see it?
I think in terms of building resilience, it comes down to the trust in institutions that hold people in power to account, whether that is the news media, or that is local officials, or that is your local police department. You want to have strong trust in institutions that are not necessarily governed by the executive branch to keep that power in check. And how do you develop strong trust in institutions? I think we're at a point now where the institutions need to take that on themselves by being overly transparent about the work they do, why they do it, how they spend their money. In the media industry as an institution, I look at the New York Times as a really great example of this. They have been trying to be much more transparent about how they get their stories, who are the types of sources that they talk to. If they can't name a source, why can't you name a source? What's the closest attribution you can give? You know, a source familiar with the Justice Department's thinking because they worked on this project is a much stronger signal of trust than a source familiar. And so I think transparency at the institutional level will go a long way in helping Americans trust the institutions that are in charge of holding and checking power at the executive level.
And by the way, for those who don't know, Patrick is leading the way on this at the Times. That's a big part of your mandate, right? Is to figure out ways to tell the audience how we do what we do. Yeah. What's been the biggest win for you so far?
Yeah, no, I want to answer that and come back to Oliver too. My job didn't exist 4 months ago. The executive editor of the New York Times, Joe Kahn, created an assistant managing editor position on our masthead for standards and trust. And trust is a key word there. We really understand, and I think Brian and Sarah put it very well, that we have to do a better job about opening up our processes and showing how we do journalism, why we do what we do, why we choose to do certain stories the way that we do. So when we do a magazine cover story in the Times,